The Christmas Kitten by Jason Goldtrap, from the novel Christmas in Eagle Creek by Jason Goldtrap. It was late on Saturday evening, December 24th, 1910. The stars twinkled in the clear, cold sky. Sarafina the Cat was queen of the Conrad house, one of the finest in the small town of Eagle Creek, Montana. She was having a very busy week. Many humans had come to see her. Inside the house were Michael and Paula Conrad, their 16-year-old daughter, Sarah, the oldest son Martin Conrad, Martin's wife Gladys, and their adopted twin boys Joshua and Stevie, age 2. The younger son, 20-year-old Robert Conrad, his wife Sherry, and their newborn Susanna Violet were also visiting. On Sunday morning, Paula would have two great tasks: preparing food and arguing with her daughter Sarah because she was not performing her duties at a sufficient rate. During the mad dash, Paula and Sarah had overlooked the requisite 10 minutes of petting Sarafina required from each inhabitant of her house. This was upsetting. However, having lived through 2 other Christmases, Sarafina knew this silly season provided many opportunities for humans to forget what was most important: the happiness of the cat. Robert, Sherry, and Susie had arrived Thursday on the afternoon train. In all of the excitement to see his mother, Robert had literally stepped over Sarafina when he entered the house. He and Sherry were carrying luggage, which they placed on the 2nd floor in the bedroom that had been once used by Robert and his older brother Martin. After sufficiently sniffing the bags, Sarafina went back downstairs. The humans had gathered in the parlor. The baby Susie was making her first visit, so much attention was on her. From her experiences with Josh and Stevie, Martin and Gladys's children, Sarafina knew that small humans were unpredictable. She approached carefully and gave a couple of preliminary sniffs. She determined that the baby was an exact mixture of Robert and Sherry's scent. While the young one was interesting, Sarafina did not understand why its presence resulted in Sarah and Paula speaking incoherently and cooing. On Friday, there was even more busyness around the house. Various human residents from Eagle Creek came by and delivered gifts and greetings. Most of the women wanted to see the baby, while most of the men wanted to discuss killing animals with Robert. Mysteriously, they ignored Sarafina's input on songbird hunting. She did enjoy sniffing greetings from the humans who had cats and responding in kind. Sarafina was beginning to feel crowded with so many people in the house, but she kept in mind that it was only temporary. She checked on the packages once more and then decided to make one more round outside to ensure the security of the home. As she walked, she thought about how she was not really a part of the celebration. Sarah usually discouraged Sarafina from giving gifts in the form of dead mice while company was over, but this year Sarafina was determined to play some part in the festivities. After checking on the horses and chickens, Sarafina climbed a tree to get on the roof of the barn. The roof of the barn afforded a great view of most of her domain. As she scanned the nearby woods, she saw a tiny black creature crawling out of the underbrush. Sarafina tilted her head to study the unusual animal. It looked like a cat, but it still seemed unfamiliar. She had seen all sorts of house cats, as well as wild felines, such as a bobcat and puma and Canadian lynx. But this new cat was important to examine, not only because it was on her territory, but because it was so tiny. Sarafina climbed down the tree next to the barn and trotted over to greet the visitor. She stood about 20 yards away, arched her back, and hissed, "This is my territory. Why are you here?" "Help!" whimpered the tiny intruder. "Can you help me? I'm lost." "Oh, you poor dear. How old are you, little kitten?" 4 weeks old, I guess. I'm not sure." "What's your name?" "I don't know. I have 2 brothers. They always call me Sissy. Can you be my mommy?" "Well, Sissy, this is my domain. However, since you are a small one, you can stay and I'll be your mommy until you get back with your family." Sissy jumped up and down. "Hooray!" Sarafina went over to greet the little visitor. They touched noses to learn more about each other. After Sissy checked out, Sarafina led her to the house. Sissy tilted her head. "Do you live with humans?" "Yes." "Are they good humans or bad humans?" Well, they're good, very good. They provide a warm house for me to live in. They take care of all of my needs. Sissy looked down. Some humans are mean. One of them shot at me with a gun. Sarafina gave her sympathy by licking Sissy's face. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sure it was a mistake. Here, come up on the porch. The woman of the house cooked a ham today. She gave me the scraps, which is the best part of the dish. Thank you. Sissy enjoyed the ham and licking the bones. Sarafina shivered. It's cold out here. We should go inside. Sarafina jumped on the window ledge. Sarah was in the kitchen talking on the telephone, reviewing each moment of the Christmas ball with her best friend Emily. Sarafina tapped on the window to get Sarah's attention. While Sarah was getting up to go to the door, Sarafina said, There are 9 humans in the house right now. It's very crowded. I normally sleep with Sarah. I'm going to have to ask you to stay in the parlor. It has a fireplace, so it's nice and warm. And while you're sleeping, I will tell the humans about my intention to have you stay in the house with us for a few days. Sissy sniffed all around the door. Thanks, Mommy. Sarafina smiled at her. Sarah came to the door, quickly opened it, and returned to the phone. Sissy was right behind Sarafina when they went to the parlor. When Sissy saw the couch, she immediately ran beneath it. This reminds me of my home. Mommy, can I sleep here? Sarafina checked underneath the couch. Yes, that'd be just fine. If you get thirsty, the faucet in the kitchen usually drips water, so you can drink there. If you need to relieve yourself, try and hold it in. You can do that in the morning. Thank you so much, Mommy. Sissy yawned. She curled up into a ball and went fast asleep. Sarah continued chatting on the phone. She never noticed Sissy and barely acknowledged Sarafina's entrance. Sarafina battled Paul in Sarah's right arm and meowed. Sarafina realized that humans were not smart enough to speak the complex language of cat. However, she still thought that she should give it a try. She meowed, I found a lost kitten. Her name is Sissy. I told her she could stay here a few days until her mother finds her. Sarah scratched Sarafina's ears and said, oh yes, that would be so nice. Sarafina nodded. Good. I'm glad we have this understanding. Sweet dreams, Sarah. During the night, Sarafina periodically checked on Sissy. Each time, Sissy was sound asleep and seemed very content. Sarafina went to Paula, her food preparer, to make sure that she understood the situation. Paula petted Sarafina and yawned. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Just go back to sleep. Serafina returned to Sarah's room, confident that she had made all the necessary arrangements for Sissy's stay. About sunrise, Paula got up to make coffee. Sarafina took the opportunity to discuss Sissy's situation with Paula. Paula kept nodding, saying, yeah, as she brewed the coffee. She opened the door for Sarafina and then went back to her food preparation. Sarafina meowed to Sissy. Sissy scrambled out the door from underneath the couch. The felines took care of business, sniffed a little bit of the snow, and then returned to the house. Since Paula had not sufficiently shut the door, Sarafina was able to nudge it open with little effort. She did not want to distract Paula from her duties. Sissy returned to her makeshift home beneath the couch and curled up to take another nap. After a big breakfast, the humans decided to clean up the kitchen before opening the presents. The small children went to the parlor. Sherry was watching them. Sarah and Paula cleaned the kitchen. Gladys was upstairs on the phone talking to her mother. Robert and Michael were outside gathering firewood. And while the 2-year-olds were restlessly exploring the parlor, one of them looked underneath the couch. "Kitty! Kitty!" Sherry, who was looking at Sears' catalog, replied, "That's right, Josh. Sarafina is a kitty." Sarafina meowed, "No, he means Sissy." Stevie also looked underneath the couch. "Kitty! Kitty!" Sarafina went to the kitchen to check on Paula and Sarah's progress. She meowed, "You two need to meet Sissy. You'll really like her." Sarah responded by smiling at Sarafina and scratching her just beneath her chin. Josh and Steve came into the kitchen. "Kitty, Grammy, kitty!" Paula smiled. "That's right, Sarafina's a kitty." Stevie pointed at the parlor. "Kitty!" Sarah rubbed Josh's head. "That's right, Sarafina's in... No, wait. No, Sarafina's in the kitchen with us. But she does sleep in the parlor sometimes. You're so smart.